Hello everyone, it's Lindsay, and today I'm going to share with you a project that I created. This is kind of a follow-up video to yesterday's unboxing video. So if you didn't see that unboxing, I will link it down below. Yesterday I shared about a company called Peachy Cheap. I discovered them on Instagram over a year ago, and I have ordered from them. I've worked with them. They just offer these really great flash deal type sales on different scrapbooking products. And so the deal today is on this Dear Lizzy collection, and this is the It's All Good collection, and it is available today. Just heads up, sometimes these bundles sell out super quick, so it may already be sold out, but I will link everything down below for you guys so you can go check it out. And this is the deal that's available today, August 22nd. So I wanted to show you everything that comes in the bundle. I did that yesterday on a video, and then today I wanted to show you a project that I created with the bundle just to kind of give you some ideas. So this little pile here is everything that I have left over after digging into that bundle, and I created a mini album. Now originally when I did the unboxing video, I mentioned that I would have a process video for you guys. I ended up not doing a process video just because mini albums are kind of tough to do a video for. The footage takes a long time to edit because it takes me a long time to put these together. I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna do it. There's a lot of like testing out things. It just does not work well for me to do process videos. So I went ahead and made the album and then figured I'd hop on here and kind of give you some tips and tricks and share with you how I created it, just to give you an idea for how to use the bundle. So again, this is the Dear Lizzy bundle. This is the It's All Good collection. And this mini album is like 98% just product from the Peachy Cheap bundle. I did add in some things from my stash, like the sequin mix, some doilies, a couple extra pieces of pattern paper, and of course adhesive and that kind of thing. But I have been dealing with just junk this last month, or for a couple months now, and I haven't really talked about it or shared, and it hasn't been mine to share, but my sister is going through a divorce, and she is having to move to a different state. She got into a dental hygienist program in Idaho, so she is moving. She's already moved by the time this video comes out, and she used to live about 4 hours away from me, and now she's going to be over 12 hours away from me, and I'm just really sad because I don't get to see her nearly as often. I'll probably only get to see her a couple times a year instead of every 6 weeks like I was getting to see her. And so I wanted to create a little mini album with pictures of her and I together to send her as a gift for a couple different reasons. A healing project for me, just to kind of get me through the slump of, you know, I'm not the one getting divorced. She definitely is having to deal with a whole bunch of junk on her end, but it is sad. I'm gonna miss her. She is my rock, and it's just been kind of a hard time. And so I wanted to kind of just create something for me to kind of get out that anxious energy, but also a gift for her, just as a reminder that I'm here for her during this time. And so what I did was, my mom had sent me pictures, like old pictures of me and her and my brother when we were kids, like years ago, and they've just been sitting in a drawer for a long time now, and I don't have them in an album or anything like that. And so what I did was I actually scanned those photos into my computer and then edited them with a similar filter. That way all the photos would kind of have the same colors and kind of the same look to them, because with a project like this, sometimes older photos can be hard to work with because the colors are weird, the tones are kind of weird, they're just not good quality photos. So by scanning them in, one, I'm not ruining original photos, and two, I can kind of adjust things and edit them so that they work for a project like this. So that is what I did. And so what I did was there's several sheets of 12 by 12 pattern papers that came with this bundle, and I just right off the bat cut them down to 6 by 6 pieces of paper. So I just took those pattern papers, cut them down to 6 by 6. I didn't worry about where the pattern was going to land or anything like that. I just cut it into fourths, and that way I had a selection of 6 by 6 papers to use for my album. So it is a 6 by 6 album. I used my planner punch board. I will link everything down below for you guys, to punch some holes, and then just use some binder rings to bind it. That was just the easiest way for me. I did go ahead and round 2 of the corners using a corner rounder. And other than that, it's just sticking things down, gluing things together. It really is not that complicated. So the front page here is a little bit thicker because it is doubled up. I made like a shaker element. This It's All Good collection has a lot of lemons and kind of lemon theme in it. And so I had some leftover, or I'd ordered another container of the Felicity Jane lemon confetti. I will link that down below, and mixed it with some confetti that was, or some sequins that were in my stash to create this little shaker element on the front. I just cut a square out of my 6x6 paper, used a clear transparency sheet, but you could just use plastic packaging. I used some foam adhesive, 2 layers of foam adhesive, and then another piece of pattern paper to seal it all together. So there's lots of tutorials on YouTube showing how to make shaker pockets and that kind of thing, so I didn't want to go into too much detail, but the rest of the pages in this book are just single pages of this paper. I did not double up the paper. It seems like it's pretty thick, good quality scrapbooking paper, so I didn't feel like I needed to double it up, but that is like kind of the main element on the front there. And then I used one of the chipboard stickers that says "You're my main squeeze," and a doily, and then one of the die cut pieces on the front here. So I love that this collection has lots of like, "You are my home," "You're my main squeeze," "love," just phrases like that that really worked well for a sister album like this. And it's just bright and cheery, and it just really came together very easily. It just took me like one evening to put this album together. And the nice thing about working with a whole collection bundle like this is you don't really have to think about it. Everything coordinates, the colors all coordinate, so you can just kind of cut things out, stick things down, and it's pretty, easy to put together. So I tried not to overthink it. I tried not to get too carried away. You could get crazy with like adding, stitching detail. You could be adding enamel stickers and just all kinds of things, but I tried to keep it fairly simple. So pretty much the same formula for each spread. So the left-hand side, the back of the page, is just going to be some kind of phrase or scripture or quote or just visual element. And then on the right-hand side is going to be a photo, and the photos are, I believe, 4x4. I think I printed them 4x4. And then I did pull some scrapbooking paper from my stash to mount behind the photos, but for the most part, it's just papers from this collection. So you can see here I just used like a doily. I did pop up some of the elements on foam adhesive. The nice thing about using these binder rings is you really can kind of move things around, stick more things in there, use dimensional items. If I wanted to add more pages, I could add more pages, and so I did go ahead and use some chunkier things in this album than what I would typically use in like a scrapbooking layout. So here's a photo of us when we were younger. Most of these are from like grade school age. Our parents got divorced when we were in elementary school about that time, and so a lot of these photos are from that time. And so I just wanted to remind her, like, hey, we were each other's rock even during that time, and now as she's going through this divorce nastiness, I'm here for her, and I am her support even in this time now. And so I just thought, a lot of these photos are just not good quality, but they're just funny, just little snapshots of her and I together. She just cracks me up. I love her so much. And so this one here is just the photo, some of the die cut pieces. This was a piece. I had never tried one of these before. You just take a paper clip, and I just created some little banners out of the papers and threaded it through the paper clip, and then added some of the die cut pieces, again popping some of them up on foam adhesive, added a little nest of metallic thread, and it's just this really fun little paper clip piece. So you could make several of these ahead of time and then just have them to embellish your projects if you wanted to do that. So there is a look at that page. This one here, again, photo on the right hand side with some doilies in the background and some sequins that I did add. We were always like dressed to the nines. It was ridiculous. We were little girls, like little dolls. So these photos just crack me up to look at these older photos of us. But on this side, I took one of the cut apart sheet. I did go ahead and cut apart into all its different elements. And so I took one of those cards and ran it through my typewriter and just typed out a verse that I found that I just thought was just a verse of encouragement from Ecclesiastes. Added some more die cut details. This is just the back side of this anchor paper that I used on this side, and kept it, fairly simple, nothing too crazy. This one here again, which is a photo of us, the two of us together. And I didn't really worry too much about matching the die cuts with the theme of the photo. I just wanted the overall look of the book to be this collection, and then I just made the photos kind of work. The style that I edited them in Lightroom, Adobe Lightroom, and so I try to get it so the colors are a little bit more kind of muted or washed out. That way it would kind of go with these more muted tones in the collection. But again, one of the chipboard stickers, a doily, used lots of doilies in here. This is just 3 die cut pieces. By adding some foam adhesive behind them and just changing kind of the levels in there, gives it some more interest. Added one of the branding strip pieces down at the bottom there, another one of those chipboard stickers. This pattern paper, this dotty, spotty pattern, is one that was from my stash. So there's that. This one here, this is some more of those chipboard stickers and another doily. This foiled paper is one from my stash, but everything else on here is from that collection there. Again, just adding a little nest of thread, you know, foiled thread, not foiled, metallic thread behind the die cut piece, one of the puffy stickers. My grandmother used to make dresses for us, like sew dresses. So we had all of these obnoxiously patterned elaborate dresses that usually were matching. So we had tons of photos of us in these like obnoxious matching dresses. It's so funny. We had like the big thick bangs. We always had our hair worn really long. So it's just funny to look back at, you know, younger photos of us. It just cracks me up. And so that's kind of my hope, is that she will look at this and it will, you know, bring a smile to her face. So again, another photo of the two of us. Here I found a sister quote, sister, a person who has been where you have been, someone you can call when things aren't going right, is more than just family. A sister is a forever friend. And then added a die cut piece. This was again one of those cut apart pieces that I just ran through my typewriter. Some die cuts, again popping some of them up on foam adhesive. This was a like leatherette bow that I had in my stash. It's kind of chunky and obnoxious, but it works. It adds a little bit of detail to the top of this piece here. This is actually a tag. It had like a tag hole on it. And it's like a little snail with a flower for its shell. It's hilarious. And then this piece back here was actually a journaling card. And instead of using it as a journaling card, I just used it as a layering element behind the photo there. And don't be afraid to use, you know, bad photos like this. The look on our faces, like it was just a candid shot. It's kind of grainy. It's not very good, but it's okay. It's funny. It captures who we were as kids, and was a photo that may just go, you know, passed by in a photo album, but putting it into something like this really kind of makes it a little bit more special. So again, one of those leather bows. The other half of that journaling card I used to layer behind there. This again was from one of those cut apart papers, and then this is also from the cut apart paper, and just again pop that up on some foam adhesive. And if it was a pattern paper that I really loved, like I love this lemon paper, I try to keep the elements kind of small so that way it would showcase that paper that I really liked. Just added a little bit of washi tape underneath there. Didn't really bring in too much from my stash. I really tried to keep it to the stuff in this bundle. Again, this is a little bit older. I think I'm probably in junior high here, so she's probably like late middle school-ish, like 5th or 6th grade maybe here. The chipboard stickers had this really fun like tab piece. Here's one of the puffy sticker pieces. This giant Peachy Keen chipboard sticker on a doily, and just really showcasing that pretty floral paper there. Love that. This photo here, she and I, again, probably junior high and middle school here. I don't know, maybe this is like 6th grade and 3rd or 4th grade. But we've got little bunny rabbits. We had pet bunnies. And this was like in the throes of my parents' divorce. This was probably like right after their divorce was finalized. So we did a lot of like switching back and forth between parents depending on who had custody. Like it was just hot mess express. So it's just interesting to look at the photos and just look at her and I together during that time. Now don't get me wrong, we fought like cats and dogs during that time, but we're like 2 peas in a pod now, so we're making up for lost time. Some more of that foil paper. Again, this was one from my stash, but it really kind of paired well with some of the other papers in this collection, using some of those die cut pieces, chipboard piece. So you can see pretty much sticking to the same formula, just, you know, just sticking things down, and it all kind of looks like you spent way more time than you actually did on a project like this. Here's a little bit later on. This is actually my sister Kimber with one of my boys. I believe this is Connor, right after he got out of the NICU. So he's like teeny tiny. He probably only weighs like 5 pounds there. And she, you know, she's their auntie. They love her. She's so good to them. So I definitely wanted to include some pictures of her. I believe she's still in high school at this point when I had my boys. So just kind of funny memories there. Here I just cut out some pattern paper from my stash into a banner. This is one of the banners from the cut apart sheets. One of the chip, nope, this is a die cut piece popped up on some foam squares. Here's Kimber with my other son, Aiden. This was at Christmas time, so he's probably about 4 months old here. Actually, this is, yes, Christmas. And she stuck little like Christmas bows all over him as we were unwrapping gifts. Again, she's probably in high school there. Used some of the die cut pieces, some of the branding strips, and then over here, just a few more of the die cut pieces and one of those puffy stickers. Love that. And then this one here is a more recent photo. This is from last summer. She and I did one of the color runs. We dressed up in tutus and had like unicorn headbands. It was hilarious. So, you know, to go through all these older photos of us as kids and then here as adults, we're still just as silly, just as goofy, right by each other's side, supporting each other through thick and thin. And I wanted to kind of end on that note. I like to think that maybe we glowed up a little bit. I don't know. I think we're doing a little bit better in our 30s than we were in our preteen stages. But so there's that photo. Again, lots of doilies, some of the die cut pieces and chipboard stickers, cut apart sheet, puffy stickers. So really just lots of paper products, and just by adding, you know, foam adhesive or a little bit of thread here and there really kind of dresses things up and makes it look way more difficult or complicated than it actually is. So, and then there's just the back. So that is it. So that is what I created with the Dear Lizzy bundle that's available over at Peachy Cheap today. I will have links down below so you can go check them out. They have Peachy Cheap and Peachy Planner deals, 2 separate websites, so they have 2 different deals each day, so I'll link both of those down below for you guys so you can check that out. I hope that this gives you some ideas for how to use the products. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave those down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you were inspired. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. Special thank you to Peachy Cheap for sending these to me so that I could create this project. I hope you guys will definitely go check them out. And until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.